Let me know.
Okay. Okay, Mike, whenever you're ready.
Good morning, everybody. We're gonna get started. Hello, good morning. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so we're gonna get this started. We're gonna call the meeting to order for Southern Guam Soil Water Conservation District partner meeting. Today is January 30, 2025. The time is 10:19 in the morning, and we're conducting it here in person at the Crown Plaza in Tumon Bay. Martha, can you do a roll call, please?
Good morning. Roll call. Chairperson Michael Uggan,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Glenn Takai,
He's currently either traveling or still off island. I'm not sure at this time, so he's excused.
okay. District Director Yvonne Maglonia Waneza,
She is running late, but we should be here shortly.
District Director Monica Tenorio is present. District, that's my tongue's getting stuck on that word. District Director, Dr. Glenn Dula,
Present.
and that would be it for the board.
We do have a quorum. Right?
Yes,
Okay, so we do have a quorum. You want to continue with the staff?
yes, we have District Admin Erica Pangilinan, Conservation Tech Madeline Flores, Program Support Specialist John Tanavasa,
Present.
Project Director Geraldine Datuin. Present. Conservation Associate Dalen Pangilinan. Conservation Associate Jonathan Borja.
Present.
UOG Technical Advisor Mark Acosta.
Okay, thank you. I'm pretty sure all of you have signed in on the registration. And we would ask that as you speak, as a partner, that you could introduce yourselves as we go along. That would kind of save a lot of time too. So thank you. So anyways, I'll get going. Thank you and Hapa Dave. Welcome to this first meeting of the 2025. It's a special meeting today, more than just a regular calling a special meeting for whatever reason. We're here today because down here at Tumon Bay in this beautiful hotel, we got all of you guys and everybody seems to be dressed up really nice. So that's a very special meeting because usually we come in our bahaki. So yeah, thank you. We have a lot going on today and especially hearing from you guys as a partner. We want to know what you guys are up to, what you have accomplished. Maybe you want to talk about that or anything that's going forward. You guys know this is still a regular partner meeting, so just report as we've normally done. We've accomplished many things in this past year. So many projects, so many grant programs that we've got. We've from the REPI, Sentinel Landscape, big perimeter fencing. We did our first ever poster contest for the schools. There's so many things. I think Miss Erica will actually touch on a lot of that today too. So going forward, we're going to have not only this partner meeting, but we're also going to have an action planning session so that we know what we want to do going forward. And that's going to be after we conclude the regular board meeting. And then, so there's a lot going on today. I know Erica did the housekeeping, but this morning I found I was going to go use the restroom and all of a sudden it was right there. I said, oh, okay. So I said, oh, this is good. People can't say I'll be back. I'm going to go to the restroom and just keep going. Now we're going to see. So yeah, we're all stuck here. So anyways, I will pass it on to, where am I at?
The updates, yeah.
The Southern District Report update. So Erica, please.
That's
Testing. Hey. All right, thank you, Chairman Uggan, for the welcoming remarks and setting the tone for today. Good morning, everyone. My name is Erica. For those of you I haven't had the chance of meeting yet, I am the District Administrator and Director of Programs with the Southern Guam Water Conservation District. It's truly a privilege to stand or sit before you to deliver this report on behalf of our board. So a quick run through of what our report will entail. We'll provide a brief highlight of our 2024 accomplishments, as Chairman mentioned. We'll go over our current programs and initiatives, and we'll discuss some of our future initiatives that we have planned. In particular, we'd like to spend some time diving into one of our larger initiatives, the Southern Guam Feral Swine Program, and how it continues to be a critical focus for conservation in our district. So Jara will be taking us through that program presentation a little later. So before we get into the details, I'd first like to take a moment to introduce the Southern District, especially those who are new to our organization, and who we are and what we do. So the Southern Guam Soil and Water Conservation District is a government board. We are established by public law to address unique conservation challenges in our region. We work closely with our members. We work closely with our partners, a lot of you here today, to develop and implement solutions that promote the conservation of Guam's soil and water resources. The district is led by a board of 5 directors, and they are elected to serve by our members. Our membership consists of the registered farmers, landowners, land leases, who are all dedicated to advancing our shared mission. So at this time, I'd like to introduce, I know we went over it earlier, but of course, Chairman Michael Uggan, he is our chair. All right, and then we have Director Martha Tenorio. Okay. And then we have Director Dr. Glenn Dilla. And Director Glenn Takai, who's not here with us, but he's here in spirit, and you'll see him a lot as we go on with our projects. Okay, so we oversee Guam's southern villages, including Agate, Asan, Imadet, Zotnia, and Santa Rita. Guam also has a northern Guam Soil and Water Conservation District, which oversees the northern municipalities. Hi, Savannah, Garcia is right there. And I'm sure the other northern directors will be joining us here later today. The Pagu-Atagu fault line, which runs through the island of Guam, is the boundary that separates our districts. So the southern region, as we all know, is infamous for its natural beauty, agricultural significance, and rich cultural heritage. However, it's also infamous for the persistent challenges such as soil erosion, invasive species, water quality concerns. So addressing these issues is central to everything we do at the district. Yeah. All right, so our work centers around 3 key pillars. First, technical assistance. We help farmers and landowners adopt conservation practices to improve their land and productivity. Another way in which we offer technical assistance to our members is really guiding them to the programs of our partners to help them address their land challenges and whatnot. Secondly, community outreach. We engage with stakeholders to raise awareness and align conservation priorities. And finally, grassroots advocacy. We ensure programs reflect the needs and voices of our farmers, our partners, our stakeholders, shaping plans that make a real impact locally, regionally, and even nationally. Right, so we'll get into that point where we are going to reflect on some of the highlights from 2024. We had a big year. So we'd like to dub that year of growth, collaboration, and progress. First, building capacity was a major accomplishment this past year. The district expanded our team. We went from a staff team of one. Remember when it was just me for a long time? Now we have a team of 6. Which has ultimately strengthened our ability to deliver effective programs and technical assistance. And I think this is a great time to introduce our team members. So if our team can come up and I'll introduce you to everyone, not awkward at all. First, we have Madeline Flores. Maddie is our conservation. She's our conservation technician, so she interfaces a lot with the agricultural producers. She's out there walking their lands with them, getting to know them, getting to know their story and the challenges that they face. So Maddie, she's really overseeing our active district registry and producer network. Then we have John Tanabasta. John is our program support specialist. He primarily provides support to USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service. Jay, I know Jay is here, so. And he's also our GIS guy, so we're lucky to have him. Geraldine Datuin. Jared is our project director overseeing the Southern Guam Feral Swine Program. And Jared and I, we go way back, her days in ABS, so it's nice that we're here working on critical projects together. Thanks, Jared. Okay, and then our newest team members, we have Damien Pangilinan and Donnie Borja. Their first day was yesterday. There are new conservation associates. They come from education backgrounds. Damien has her degree in education and Johnny is a PhD candidate. So they will be really taking up their role in engaging with the community. So we can be out there spreading awareness and also strengthening our youth stewardship program. So thanks, guys. So we're really thrilled to see our team growing, and not only are we building staff capacity, we are also building the capacity of our directors, our regional SWCD partners, and the leadership. So back in September, we hosted a historic SWCD training for the Pacific region. This training offered the skills and tools needed to enhance our programs, not only locally, but across the region. Secondly, member recruitment was a big win for us this past year. We made connecting and engaging with new members a priority. We really wanted to focus on strengthening our relationship with the farmers and landowners as they are the members we serve. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we go on. Their community engagement definitely worth highlighting. In 2024 alone, we hosted over 12 workshops and events, reaching over 500 community stakeholders and members, covering a range of topics, including conservation best management practices, farmer and stress support, so shout out to ADS for that support, and conservation advocacy. These events created valuable opportunities to share knowledge and network and foster collaboration within our communities. Lastly, program expansion. Our ability to engage effectively with our community is due to the success of leveraging and securing over $1 million in grants this past year. So these funds have allowed us to expand our programs in the Southern District and throughout Guam. So we're really proud of that. Hopefully we can continue that momentum, but we'll work really hard to advocate for that. So speaking of programs, we'll take a look into our current programs here at the Southern Guam Soil and Water Conservation District. So as part of our mandate, the Southern District maintains an active district registry of our members. And we've recently streamlined this process. So here's how it works. Eligible individuals will complete and submit our registration form. So we do have a registration form that our members will fill out. Once they submit that registration form, we will conduct a site visit. So Maddie will go out and visit the land and get with the landowners, Then we'll ensure that they are vetted and confirm their eligibility. Again, they have to be a registered farmer in Guam with Department of Agriculture or a registered landowner, leasing with the Department of Land Management. Once their eligibility is vetted, the board will approve the membership, and then a certificate is issued, and that is valid for 3 years. So it's going good. I think we have 22 confirmed members right now. We conducted a lot of site visits, so we look forward to growing that list. As an added benefit, members who do sign up with us, they will receive a free soil test. So with that free soil test, after it's analyzed by the University of Guam Soil Lab, we will refer them to our UOG Cooperative Extension. So Marcus Costa is really helping us lead that effort. Really, the goal is to encourage the producers to get on a soil health management plan with NRCS. Members are also available to different access to workshops or benefits, such as workshops, training events, program opportunities and technical assistance, and then they can vote and run as well for the board. And we'll have more information on that too. Okay, so we do have a technical assistance program. We provide staff support to NRCS, and the whole goal of this program is to increase the number of conservation plans that are developed and adopted by our ag producers and forest landowners. We've been fortunate enough to receive grant funding from our national counterpart, the NACD, which allows us not only to provide the staff support NRCS needs, but also to host training and workshops for producers to learn about the different conservation best management practices and the programs that are out there to help them fund their efforts. So recently we secured additional funding with UOG. So be on the lookout for a series of workshops coming up. So we're really excited about that. Okay, next, one of our bigger programs too. This time last year, we were sub-awarded REPI, the Readiness Environmental Protection Integration funding from NACD. The REPI program in general focuses on protecting working and natural lands while ensuring military readiness. So the primary goal of this program initiative is to build and strengthen partnerships to enhance conservation, ultimately to reduce land use conflicts and improve landscape resilience. So it's been a year, and through this grant, we made significant strides in advancing Guam's conservation goals. Key achievements include supporting Guam's application for essential landscape designation and supporting a comprehensive implementation plan. So we look forward to hear the results of that very soon. We've also established our producer network, and we are enhancing the district's capacity to address resource challenges. So if you look on the photo up on the screen, that right there is a pig rig trapping system. So we did receive training from White Buffalo to learn how to use this trap. And right now we do have a pig rig feasibility study going, where we trained up some ag producers and also our district members on how to use the trap. So Jared will speak on that overall later, sometime really soon. Okay, so looking forward, we plan to expand the REPI program with SWCD. A primary focus will be addressing compliance barriers that often hinder conservation implementation, streamlining processes, and just to make it easier for landowners and partners to implement conservation practices and initiatives. So additionally, we will continue to support the Guam Sentinel Landscape Partnership and its initiatives. So I just want to shout out really quick to Patrick Keeler, our Guam Sentinel Landscapes Coordinator, very important person to know, as well as Adrian Lorzell, Hazel. Their input and direction into our program really ensures that we are all aligned. So if you're interested in learning more about the GSLP, please reach out to Patrick. He can definitely provide more info on that. And look forward to other events upcoming regarding GSLP. All right, now let's talk about one of the hottest topics of the block, the feral swine program, one of our longest running programs. The Southern District has been working alongside APHIS for a long, what is it, Dr. Aaron, 7 years or so? And since then, we significantly expanded our efforts. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to Jara to take us through our program.
Thank you, Erica. It's nice to see everybody, nice to see some familiar faces and to meet some new ones. So basically. Go to the next slide, please.
Just let me know.
This is going to be a concise version of the three components of the Southern District's Girls Wine Management Program, which they really set a foundation for. And, you know, as Erica mentioned, it's been going on for a long time. And we have some upcoming programs that I'd like to talk about today. I'm just going to start with the USDA-APHIS partnership. This is a cooperative agreement that basically funds a number of hours of time to conduct feral swine control efforts in the South. This is an existing effort that APHIS already is conducting. And we'd like to collect control effort data and to assist with administrative tasks and trap maintenance within the district lands. So this is taking something that already exists and prioritizing our farmers that are on our district registry. We do have Maddie who interfaces with the farmers directly, and so having an interview with invasive feral swine, they can contact Maddie, and if they have any issues with any follow-up or trap maintenance, they can also contact her. And we are streamlining our processes so that we can get these services to our southern farmers in a more effective way. But I can leave that to Chad to speak on the number of pigs trapped in the southern area during this partnership update. And our second component is the pig brig feasibility study. So this is basically a pilot project where we seek the support of NRCS to conduct a feasibility study on the need of the pig brig trapping system. So this trapping system is in addition to what the APHIS traps. This trap is not, they're not utilizing this trap yet. So we are basically giving the onus to the farmer so they can build this type of trapping system on their farm. The purpose of this pig brig feasibility study is to develop a compelling case for the inclusion of this pig brig trap for equip to fund in NRCS programs. So basically, once we gather the data for the efficacy of these traps, we would like to present to NRCS to adopt this as an official conservation practice. This will help our southern farmers apply for funding to build these traps on their farm themselves. And it's just another way that we can tackle this feral swine issue. And lastly, our most recent program is the feral swine perimeter fencing program. So we've been really working hard the last couple of months with the team. We do have a feral swine committee who have been, consists of some of you in this room today, our federal partners, NRCS and FSA, as well as our technical advisees from the University of Guam and the PI, Dr. Dula, and the PI, Joe Takara. So I would be, we are working together on finalizing the guidelines for this program. So the eligibility, we're working on eligibility guidelines, financial eligibility guidelines. This is also a cost share program. And the district has applied for this grant and succeeded to receive funds. So the district can administer these funds to assist with building perimeter fences. This is a third sort of way we are approaching this feral swine issue. So we are establishing traps, we are supporting existing trapping programs, and we are also trying to build a fence to protect the producers' crops that are existing from the feral swine damage. So it's really a multi-pronged approach to attacking, resolving this issue in the South, which, our producers are really having a hard time, dealing with. And so we are working on finalizing the guidelines, so just be on the lookout for, us to reach out to you guys and our partners on the details of when and how farmers can apply to this program. We are looking at building the program out in the next couple of months. And so we are in the process of scheduling workshops down south. We are hoping to schedule 2 workshops and 1 webinar. And in these workshops, this is the opportunity for producers or interested landowners to apply and to ask questions to our committee. It's going to be a process at becoming eligible for this program. And we would like to give the opportunity to directly interface with the applicants so we can give them the assistance. Our team is ready to provide additional technical assistance to meet the eligibility requirements. Just so you know, the fence will have to be built to a standard. And we are working with our NRCS partners and FSA partners to make sure that we are going to be meeting those standards. But the difference with this local program that the Southern District, is able to administer is that we do have a team that will be working directly with the farmers to get them as much as possible on board. We know that paperwork is not the #1 thing that farmers like to do, and we'll be there to help them with that. And so we do want to have, lastly, we do want to have a webinar to have something that is pre-recorded and we can maybe pass around to anyone who does have questions for this program. And yeah, so just be on the lookout for us to reach out to you guys with any of this information. And we'll be reaching out very, very soon. So lastly, I'd like to show a video of the pig brig, sample of the pig brig trapping system. So it's something that's kind of fairly simple. You see that it's something that maybe farmers can possibly build themselves, and hopefully if our feasibility study goes well, we can pitch for this to become an official conservation practice, so we can get some financial assistance for farmers to apply to NRCS programs. This is just another way that we strengthen our partnership with our federal partners. We are really trying to streamline all of our processes with APHIS, with NRCS, with FSA, just to work as a team, so nobody's operating in silos. We just want to help each other and ultimately help the farmers. So if you have any questions, I'll be ready to, talk more during the networking session, after our action planning session.
Thank you, Jara. Chairman, isn't this on your farm? This picture?
Yes, it is. That was just a couple nights ago. So these are the ones, Chad, Saturday, we have a date. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but you're wondering, how is it trapping? Well, right now it's not. All you're doing is baiting it, just like APHIS, how they bait the trap too. Same thing, right? You're just getting them comfortable coming in there. And you want to observe how many and who, right? You kind of identify them so you know if you get the target that you're looking for. Then you drop the net down further, all the way to the ground eventually, and then once they go in, they can't come out. So that's basically how that's going to eventually work, once that whole net goes down to the bottom. And the bait there is just whole corn and coconuts. We just cut them open, break them up, chop them. I always break it down where they can't just eat the whole thing at one time. They got to keep nibbling all around. That just keeps the bait there, and they keep coming in. So, and it works. So far in this trap here has already caught 32 pigs just in the last, just about a month or so. Yeah, so, yep.
Thank you, Chairman. Corn and coconut, that means they're ready for the fiesta. Right
Yeah.
after they're removed. Okay, so thank you again, Jared and Chairman. Feel free again to reach out to Jared if you have any questions regarding our girls swine efforts, and how to get involved. So we'll go ahead and close out our report with some upcoming events to look forward to. We just really want to bring to the attention to our partners that Guam will have a delegation attending the National Association of Conservation Districts annual meeting happening in Salt Lake City. So Chairman Joseph Santos of the North, he is our primary representative for Guam. That's a very, NACD Guam is a voting member, and we get to decide on some policies and resolutions to help strengthen our conservation efforts regionally and across the nation. For the Southern District specifically, we do have 3 critical mission objectives when we do attend. Firstly, we'll be presenting a resolution to update the reimbursement transportation cost program, or the rate associated that program's under FSA. So thank you, Eileen, for providing some data on that so we can best build our case. So the Pacific region is supporting that resolution. We look forward to advocating for the need to update the rate. We'll also, Director Glenn Takai will be graduating. He was selected to be a part of the Next Generation Leadership Institute, a rigorous 1-year long training program. Basically, they select different representatives from the districts nationwide to attend this training so that they can build up their leadership skills to best serve the communities. So we are really proud of him. He's graduating with it, and yeah, we'll take pictures and send it to you guys. Thirdly, we are also going to be presenting. We do have a breakout session, and where we'll be highlighting the recent SWCD training that we conducted here for the Pacific Islands. A lot of the information when we do attend these conferences, we do bring back information, and we implement the projects and the different initiatives that we've learned from the different soil water districts across the nation. And now they're going to learn from us, so we're really excited about that. Okay, just a couple more things. We are supporting the Center for Island Sustainability Conference this year. In fact, we're collaborating on them to host our annual Educators Symposium. So we did take a break from the Educators Symposium to revisit and revamp. So we're so happy to collaborate with CIS this year. We're in the early development stages of that, but we'll keep everyone posted as we go along. Stewardship Week is happening from April 27th to May 4th. As you know, the districts, we collaborate to host events and activities during Stewardship Week to highlight the importance of conservation. We also plan to host our annual local working group within that week, so just be on the lookout. The North and the South are working to solidify that date. So once we know, you'll know. And it is an election year for the Soil and Water Conservation Districts. That's happening August 19th. And I know that nominations are usually due in July. So we're working with the University of Guam, who is charged with coordinating the election. So you have to look out for that information as well. Now, lastly, we do, per our mandate, have to hold our board meetings every month. So we do have our bi-monthly partner meeting. This one was extra special just because we've coupled it with our action planning session. But usually we hold it every other month, the second Wednesday of the month. The next one will be March 12th. And then, of course, our partners are always welcome to join us during our regular board of directors meetings that take place every third Wednesday. The month 4 p.m. at UOC. So with that, Mr. Chair, board members, that concludes our Southern District report.
So who has the next section? This one, okay. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next item, which is partner reports. And so maybe we'll just, instead of calling out on the list, we'll just start at one table, maybe over here, Chris Roberto. Or Rosario, sorry.
Yeah.
And then we'll just go around, if you can, please, identify yourself, what agency or whatever organization, and then.
Oh, just to add on, before you start, Chris, so everyone, there are a couple questions on the agenda, if you guys could address those. You know, really, we want to hear, you know, what you guys are doing, what's working for you. As we go to NACD or to Utah, during Super Bowl, unfortunately, for most people. You know, we want to take your successes, what working well for you, and see how we can incorporate that into NACD's mission, and hopefully, you know, develop, you know, greater policies and ultimately just bring more funding to Guam to help address all of our shared missions and issues. So again, sorry, I didn't read the questions. What your agency is doing well, share recent successes, initiatives or projects, and number two, what are some challenges your agency is facing, and how us as the Southern District can assist you?
Okay. So, hi everyone, my name is Chris Zaro. I'm from the Guam Department of Agriculture Security Division. And I guess to start with the first question, what is our agency doing well? Well, we just to kind of put it out there, we have conducted a biosecurity training back in actually just 2 weeks ago. And we thought that the training went well in identifying several gaps and trying to align both federal and local policies in place. It was more of a regulations and more trying to better coordinate with one another as part of that training. So yeah, that was a pretty good success. At the same time, we've also had the Guam Invasive Species Council meetings. We actually had our second one this fiscal year, which was kind of nice, more than we've had in past years. And then I'd say for shared recent success, we got some additional funding from USDA Plant Protection Act 7721. We've actually had several projects. The big one is the Tropical Host Pest Survey. That we've also included the recent invasive pest, hog plum beetle. You guys have probably heard of that. That's affecting our Semiglas. We've included that pest as part of our survey. And then, of course, we are on our 12th year of the National Honeybee Survey. And with this year, we will be declaring Guam as varroa mite free. So that actually is a pretty big success. Probably that will be coming out in the news pretty soon. But yeah, I just thought I'd throw it out there. We've eradicated 6 hornet nests. One from northern Guam and the rest was all southern Guam. So we're seeing more heavy detections of hornet nests in the south of Guam. So that's something to really note there. We've also had now this probably is a little bit more out of the scope of Guam, but we've had LFA detections on cargo. So that was also a pretty big success too for us. Some challenges. Obviously, I'm sure this is a universal challenge for many of us. The capacity is one of the major ones. We still do lack an invasive species coordinator, as well as many other positions, but we did manage through some Section 6 U.S. Fish and Wildlife funding. We did manage to secure 3 agricultural technicians, actually 2 technicians and 1 agriculturalist 1. So we are getting them on board, and it's mainly for little fire ant work. Which does focus on the Department of Agriculture facilities, which, as you all may know, we use those facilities as, you know, that's for our nurseries, for giving out plants. So we want to ensure that before we even make those efforts, that we're ensuring that our nurseries at the Department of Agriculture is free of LFA before we give those out. Before we give out the native plants and as well as some of our crop plants. Other than that, I think that is, yeah, so how can Southern Water Conservation District can help? I think in any way, I think the big part is to alleviate from a lot of the government red flags, you know, with procurement. I think that to me is probably the biggest help that we could get from the district, yeah, from both districts. That's all that I, unless anyone else has questions, thanks.
Thanks, Chris. Just go ahead and pass it on.
On to whoever's next on the table.
Oh, Chris, one of your successes would be that we actually had those invasive species meetings, right?
Yes, yeah, I think that is a big one for us.
Yeah.
And if we can keep that continuum
Yeah.
going, I think is again, for all of us as partners,
Good
to
thing.
be able to get more involved into the council meetings, I think would be even a bigger success on our part is getting majority of us involved, yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Jason Barnes with Department of Agriculture. I'm an agriculturalist with ADS. And I'll leave it to Chief John Borja to go over some of the existing programs. We have at ADS, but yes, hi everyone.
Hi, my name is Riley. I'm with the Water Conservation Initiative. I'm their new watershed management coordinator. This is actually my second day, so I don't have anything to report on, but in the future I will. Thank you. Welcome.
Hello, I'm Michael Jordan with the U.S. Forest Service. Thank you for having me. As far as the question, so whether agency is that's doing well, I'm not going to steal too much thunder, but you know, I'll let Christine make a bunch of mentions because a lot of our funding goes to her. So
Thank you to them.
sorry, okay. But we also, you know, help with ULG, and one thing I will mention this last year, we had a an ecology course that actually took place on Pompeii. And we had people from the different islands, you know, participate with that. We also have a few other programs with urban and community forestry. We also have, of course, our stewardship programs, you know, that have been continuing to, you know, help on. As far as the future and challenges, without going into too much detail, you know, we have a new administration, so there might be some new focuses that previously we weren't focusing so much on. So, you know, once we get things figured out, you know, we can, you know, let our partners know. And then as far as how we can assist this Southern Soil Water, well, we have an ongoing project with the Joint Chiefs Project. So, you know, main thing is, you know, working towards the theme, but also the landowners to actually take part in that. All right. And additionally, I can continue to help out and this next year, so our conservation district with any thing from agroforestry, technical assistance to helping Chris with the invasives. Thank you.
Over there, Mike.
We'll just go around.
I'm figured that. Go for it.
All right, Chad Richardson, USDA Wildlife Services. I'll provide a report on our feral swine efforts for the quarter, I guess, and then answer these questions too. So I've met most of you, but some of you I know I probably haven't yet. There was some supervisory reassignments starting October 1 of this year, the past year again. So those of you who haven't met me, I took over the feral swine portion of our work here at USDA prior to me coming in on board with Charlene Hopkins. And so I'm really excited to be a part of our feral swine setup. I bring a lot of experience to the program. Over 20 years of experience with feral swine over in the States. So really excited to kind of bring some of that experience here too. So a lot of the history I'm still learning between the districts and the work that we've done in the past. So I am kind of brand new in that respect. New to Guam, but not new to cities. So recent history, let me ask you. Man. What is your agency doing well and share recent success? So one thing I do know is that in the past, we have had some intermittent funding, with the South District. We've had, intermittent work, and the funding has kind of been a little intermittent, I guess. So we've had a number of meetings with the board and with the staff about how to kind of go forward this year. It was my suggestion to say, hey, we have certain times of the year where we know we can catch pigs better. The dry season, we get pigs coming into bait better than the wet season. So I said, let's concentrate our effort. Let's change it up a little bit. As last year, like I said, we did these intermittent trapping valves. Still successful. We were able to provide service throughout the year. But when I asked the board and I asked the staff members, what's our real goal? Our goal is to kill pigs, right? So we decided to kind of change it up a little bit this year, and we sort of went full time this first quarter. And so I had somebody working full time rather than intermittent, and we were able to basically double our take in this quarter. So from last year's numbers of 76 pigs, we've already up to like 167 pigs this year. So it does make a real effort to have somebody dedicated to this. So I think, and the next question is, what are the challenges? Well, the challenges is to try to maintain that. We need to find ways that we can keep a consistent program going so that we can stay on these pigs. And so one of the things that I'm doing too, as part of my newness to the program, is I'm sort of making a mayor's tour, if you will. So I've already in the South, I've already met with the PD mayor and the Agana mayor, and I want to build some additional support from the villages and make sure that they understand who we are in our program, because there's a lot of mayors, there's a lot of villages out there that realize still don't know who we are and what we do. So I'm working on that. My goal is given to me by my bosses to make sure I meet with every mayor by the end of the year. So I'm on par to do that. I'm excited to do it. So far, I'm getting some great responses from the mayors. They're very excited to see what we can do. The other thing that I've done a little bit differently since coming to the program is in the past, we have sort of rotated employees in and out. We have a number of great employees that have great feral swine experience, but we've sort of rotated them out on various projects, and we've done projects with DOD and everywhere else. And so it's been a kind of a rotation. One of the things that I wanted to do to change that was to provide some consistency, develop some relationships with our communities. And so I'm hoping I have two great employees, one in the north, one in the south, and those employees are going to stay there. And provide some more consistency, get to know those landowners, get to know the producers on the land, and develop those relationships. And I'm taking that experience to my experience in the States. I mean, that's kind of what we did. Our trappers worked in counties, everybody in the counties knew those guys. And so I think that's something that we can do, that I'm hoping to do, that would help grow our program as well. There's just a couple of things. There are notes here. Another thing we did this year, we've been working with Maddie, and like I said, when we contact these landowners, we're doing everything we can to get them signed up as district members and register them. And you guys have an electronic form that we've been using. And sometimes what happens when we go there, we have to have those landowners sign a permission slip for us to allow us to do the work that we do. And we generally do that as a hard copy piece of paper. So we'll meet with those landowners, make arrangements to do feral swine work. And then we say, hey, by the way, we need you to sign up as a district member as well. Here's the electronic link. And so sometimes that link doesn't get completed. And so we had a conversation, one of our last meetings, well, how can we improve that and make sure that we're getting everyone that we service and work with to also become members that need to be members. And so we've recently decided, hey, we have to have them sign a 12A. Our paper copy, why not put a paper copy district application or registration in front of them at the same time? And so that's been working pretty well. We're getting a few, not everybody, I mean, the link works for some people, but some of the older guys, my age and older, still like paper. So that's something we've done to kind of, I think will make an improvement, in the program. And, yeah, I guess I don't really have anything else other than, I'll keep you guys posted on how things go with the mayor visits, but ultimately my goal there is to try to drum up more support for the island as a whole. And if I can get, some additional money from the mayors, from the villages, could be more of a three-legged stool. We get funding from you guys, we have some federal funding. If we can get additional funding, then that ultimately helps everybody in the long run. Because we're not all, as you guys know, I mean, we prioritize our work for farmers and ranchers, but we also get a lot of calls for just regular urban pigs and pigs getting in trash, pigs, rooting up ornamentals, yards and things like that, which we address all of those issues as well. So, I think, and the mayors all know that, so they get those. So it's a great three-legged stool, I think, that we can continue to work on. So that's all I got, I think.
Thanks, Chad.
Question?
I'm Patrick Keeler, the Guahan Sentinel Landscape Program Coordinator. Over the past year, I've been working very closely with the Southern Districts, especially Erica, on creating the Guahan Sentinel Landscape Implementation Plan. That is a plan we created with basically all of the natural resource managers and programs on island. We submitted it in December, and late November, but as of December, we got official designation as a Guahan Sentinel Landscape, which is pretty huge. It took year plus work, but here we are. So that's a great step forward we've taken. One of the challenges that we're looking at, though, is keeping the momentum of the program going. So I'm looking to Erica and the Southern team to just keep on doing what we've been doing over the past year, which has been super successful and very promising. And then one of our goals that we'll be working on together is increasing enrollment in not only the SWCD and like key not just as a WCD partners and programs, but also the GSLD partner and programs as well, just to make sure that we're synergizing as much as possible between our natural resource work on Guam. But yeah, that's it. And again, I look forward to working with you guys over the next year.
Good morning, Adrian Norvell with NASDAQ MAR, working primarily off installation on readiness and environmental protection integration and sentinel landscape. Right now, just because of how things sort of evolved, we're working mostly in the north around Anderson and Camp Ross, but working very closely with Eric on sort of the island-wide initiatives for REPI more specifically, and then Sentinel broadly. So looking at getting funding out to support capacity, which really has been our challenge, is finding ways to get these federal dollars to agencies and organizations that actually have the ability to use the funding. So just Erica's been doing a really good job. We've been so appreciative of the board's ability to help us identify these partners and also to get, money out in a way that people can actually use it, which sometimes is challenging with federal grants and all the requirements. And that's not looking to get much easier. So just appreciate the assistance in the past, and we're the same. And we're also sort of right now in our planning stages for the next maybe 18 months of funding, looking at potentially working some of our programs that are in Northern Guam also to include more of Southern Guam. And just to kind of on the feral swine side, we did 170 pigs in November alone with the project we're doing with Wet Buffalo, that's also been providing some technical support to you all. And potentially looking at expanding that to Southern Guam as well in the next fiscal year. So that's sort of some of the things we're looking at. Haven't settled on exactly what that's going to look like, but definitely working closely with you all on needs and also beyond just the swine issue. But what are some of the other resource challenges that we can tackle as we move forward? So that's it. Thank you.
You can at least introduce yourself,
Yes, yeah,
ma'am.
just, yeah.
You can at least introduce yourself.
This is Hazel, Eshimano. I'm contractor support for the REMI program, so I work very closely with Adrian and Patrick and Erica as well.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and start. My name is Joe Buckley, I'm from DAR, the WAG Star, and I'm on the terrestrial wildlife side of the team, and the rest of us are in Saipan right now with training. My fight and our department division's fight is against invasive species, as you know, so it's the brown tree snake or the BTS that's really my enemy. I'm with KIC, it's the Contrary Pueblo program that was developed many years ago by others. So I keep that fight alive by going out to our residents, going out into the villages and taking a lot of trips to Focus Island to help eradicate snake. What do we do well? I'd say miraculously, the volunteer boat shuttles that we needed for Focus Island volunteers was successfully procured. That takes us all the way to the end of fiscal year next year to provide these Saturday weekly visits to Focus Island so that volunteers and myself, we can get out there and take care of snake. I think that we do a pretty decent job. We haven't seen snakes out there in a while, but it doesn't mean that they're not there. We know they're there. They're just really savvy at being very cryptic. Some other things that we do well, I'd say, like you mentioned over at our big meeting we had with BTS TWG, which is just the working group conference. I got up there and I mentioned the fact that we need to partner more with our mayors, with our villages. So that's exactly what my team has done. I partner closely with our mayor, Franklin Champoko Malesso, and he says, yo, whatever you need, you just holler and let me know. Lucky for me, he's my neighbor. So I'm gonna take that full advantage of being neighbor, he's my party now, and we'll see what we can do. I realize that between our federal partners and us, we're too small and we'll never be big enough to handle these jobs on our own. So I solicit help from you all, Southern Water and Soil District to help us get the word out, to help us with manpower, if that could be another resource. I think that trapping the old fashioned way, with metal traps that USDA and DAR developed together, or maybe it was just USDA back in the day, they can be effective. It doesn't catch everything. But my take is if there's a small percentage of slight chance, 5%, 10%, whatever it is, to catch the snakes, then we need to get back on track in the villages to do so. Just because we don't see them doesn't mean they're not there. And I think the villages have just, at least my part as being a resident, long time, teenager capturing snake in the yard, that we know they're there. We hope to not see them. A lot of times we don't want to see them, but the way we get on top of it is to capture. So that's one way. We just don't have enough of the traps. We don't have enough people making the traps. And they need to be maintained with the mice that are inside as well, the live mice. I think I just have one other thing. And then I would say another plus with the area or unit, small unit, is that DAR is tracking with the Palmares Alto project, the sea recovery plan. For those of you that aren't on Instagram, you might want to get on Instagram because those birds are so cute. 9 sea hawk are still in the wild surviving. If you ever want to pick me up, you're done with the cat videos, go out to Instagram. Those sea hawk are adorable. Now, my favorite one, Tutuhun, she was the first to hatch. She is now learning on her own how to attack a tree and make a little burrow so that they can nest inside the tree. Nobody taught her that, and now she's teaching the biologists a thing or two about nature. So rewarding to watch that on Instagram. So I encourage all of you to do so. That's it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ria Stoy. I'm the volunteer with the Law Department of Agriculture and Forest and Soil Resources Division. I manage the Forest Stewardship Program. What we do well at the agency is to propagate lots of native trees, whether it's for reforestation and or, planting in the urban landscape. One thing that the district can help us with as far as my program goes, the stewardship program, is we provide trees for landowners. And it actually happened just recently, this Maddie Flores, actually, went, she directed, an equip partner for the SGSWCD. And we need more of that collaboration because, you know, when an equip partner comes over to forestry, then I can help them fulfill their orders for their path. Thank you.
My name is Adrian Omalal. I'm also from Guam Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Soil Resources Division. I'm the Cooperative Fire Protection Program Manager. One thing that our agency is doing well is addressing the wildfires that have started up with the dry season. Another success, I'd like to note that we also hired 2 new people and they have been really great at taking on these new tasks and diving into these fires. Denise.
Today, I'm Denise, I'm with the Guam Forestry as well, and I work in the Urban and Community Forestry Program. As a program manager, I'm actually one of 2. So while we work mainly in urban spaces, so not directly with farmers, one thing we've been able to do in the last year is launch the pilot year of our Knowledge program, which we're really proud of. It generated, I have numbers. Do it. Sorry, were you gonna report on numbers? So we were able to produce over 1,000 volunteer hours. We planted 233 trees. We created and printed several educational and outreach materials, and that was in the pilot year of 2024. So this year, we've awarded just over $27,000 to 4 different community organizations. And their projects actually range from developing a fruit tree nursery, and this is a repeating grantee, which is awesome. To planting native trees in schoolyards, to incorporate local botany and culture into their curriculum. Planting trees to solve ongoing erosion issues and create more shade, in widely used community spaces. So that's something that we can report on that is a success. And we hope to grow the program in the next year, which will be the 3rd year. So, I guess one thing that you could help us with is maybe promoting this grant program to the South. So we have our first grantee from the South in Jonia, which is great. But majority of them have been from the North, which is still really awesome. But we'd like to start offering that support to the South. So again, while the program deals mainly with urban spaces, this is just an example, but a nonprofit was able to get funding, which incorporated some not fruit tree, but tree pruning and maintenance training. And farmers can avail something like that, these trees for windbreaks, some even farm fruit trees. So proper pruning and maintenance techniques is something that you can get in there and not passively, but indirectly offer that support. So I'd love to talk more if you have questions. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Savannah Garcia with the Northern District. Some of our successes would be, currently we're in a pre-application phase for the perimeter fencing grant, so we're currently at 10 eligible applicants. But there's only 2 of us, so it's gonna take some time to get that underway, but I'm just glad that it's getting there. And then next would be, we started recruiting for our educator symposium at the Service Learning Summit. And we're aiming for the educator symposium to be July 23 to 25. And then I think how Southern could assist with some of our challenges would be to work in a unilateral direction with the Northern District. So we can maximize our collaborative efforts. Maybe possibly do like an MOU, so we have a clear understanding as to what we can do together. Thank you.
And definitely being new in the organization, I look forward to working with the Southern teams. I know that in the meetings I attended, there's been some great collaboration with the Southern, and so I hope that continues, and I definitely will do what I can to partake. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Stephen Durkin. I'm with the Guam Coastal Management Program. With me is Camille and Carly. We just here to present some of our report outs on one of the Guam Forest System Plan that was passed with Public Law 37-143. So that's in the works now with the Department of Agriculture. I know Christine can touch more on that with her report, but I'd like to just say that we do have the Assembly of Planners symposium happening on August 19th and 20th. So there's going to be some workshops, and we want to get some participation from the group here. And so we're setting out some surveys for those workshops as well.
I'm Camille Kitticha from DCMP. I'm actually in charge of the Marine Conservation District. And I think one of our successes is that just last week, I facilitated the first Seashore Reserve Plan advisory meeting for 2025. So it's been an effort that, it's been an ongoing effort since the 70s. So we are restarting this project. And I think how the Southern districts and also I guess the Northern district could help us is just by participating. So I'm expanding the list of partners who I will be inviting to this meeting. The first one was just kind of initial with the agencies and organizations who were involved in the past that I'd like to have more input from different partners.
Good day, my name is Carly Chimpaco-Munoz, also with the GCMD program. I am a special projects coordinator, and just two proposals that we submitted recently. One is for 300K, and this is with the Western Wildland Urban Interface Grant. And so this project supports a NOAA habitat blueprint site as well as the Manel Getwas watershed management plan. The proposal of wildfire prevention equips landowners and the Southern municipality with goals and training. It engages youth and fosters community stewardship. And the second proposal, we are hoping to get funded as well, more so deals with the legal side of reviewing outdated regulations and policy changes, but also we'll be working with the different partner agencies in building capacity to address coastal hazards and climate adaptation on Guam. That's what we have.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Jay Gordella, and I'm the district conservationist for the USDA NRCS field office, which is located in Ethan. I currently have a staff of one planner and myself, but we also have just recently started back up our agreement with the districts where we have our partner employees working with us, so that's a big help. So to answer your questions, what is our agency doing well? Well, it's probably something we're currently doing, and we always do, is give out incentives to private landowners who want to do best management practices on their farms. So that's something we're continuing to do. It's so we can pay to do, and we also work in line with the districts. So I think our recent success is that for fiscal year 25 for our sign up our farmville programs of the environmental quality incentive program, conservation stewardship program, and also our joint chiefs. We were able to get a total of over 50 applications, which is double the amount that we've been normally getting for this field office. So I'd like to see that trend continue. we don't, well, we're kind of struggling with trying to keep up with the amount, but we'll make do, and with our new partner planners, we're hoping to give them some training so they can be more of assistance to us. In helping writing plans, doing checkouts, certifications. And that's are some of the challenges that we're facing. But we'll continue to move forward with that. And so we just recently closed out, or we're gonna be closing out our second sign up for our CSP and EQIP program. But we're still continuing to collect the applications for the Joint Chiefs applications, so those are ongoing until further notice. But we'll go ahead and accept those, so if the district can continue to do their great job that they're doing with bringing in new producers. That's much appreciated, and please continue to pass the word about our agency. Because I was just talking to somebody that said that he met a producer that didn't really know what NRCS or FSA did. So I think we just gotta work harder in our outreach. Thank you.
Am I allowed to speak now because I'm honored, but I think it's report for the agencies. Am I correct?
Of course you are. Go ahead, sir. And you're a former member, probably one of the founding of the Southern District, right?
Yes, thank you, and I'd like first of all to commend you as chairman of the Southern Groundwater Conservation District Board and your members. And especially with your key partners, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Farm Service Agency. Notice Lee is here with the Farm Service Agency as the director for the Guam and the Marianas. And I also wanna commend NRCS for their good, excellent participation with the Soil Water Conservation District Board. I was a former board member with the Soil Water Conservation District Board for many years, for about 20 years or so. And I want to commend the current district boards, both Northern and Southern District Board, for their continued capacity building with the partners, federal and local. And I also noticed that the nonprofit organizations are getting more involved as key partners. And the main success that I have seen as a former member of the Soil and Water Conservation District Board, there are several agencies that are very, very instrumental for our successes. And on the local level, we have the Department of Agriculture and the University of Guam, you know, through the College of Natural and Applied Science. And of course, we have the GIDA right now and other government agencies. So I really appreciate and for your continued capacity building with the effort in helping address our natural resources, you know, our soil, our water, the air. But most important is addressing the need of the producers in Guam, the farmers in Guam. So also, I want to commend you also for your initiative and continued collaboration with our National Association of Conservation Districts. They're one of the most effective organizations that I've ever been involved with in helping us have or address the federal agencies with the forestry, the Natural Resource Conservation Service, Farm Service Agency, to help the Soil and Water Conservation District Board in their mission. So with that, I really commend all of you for the situation that we're in, we come a long way, and I'm very proud to be part of this organization. And especially the new partners that you have built with your endeavor. So with that, I would just like to address some issues, especially with the wild pig situation. I think everybody knows that the wild pig has been one of the major destruction in the especially with the farmers. So some of the solution I think you're already addressing. One of them is scrapping. So the other solution I would like to recommend is that we try and make it a win-win situation for the endeavor. I would like to recommend that you continue the trapping and maybe more effective ways of trapping. But the other solution I would like to recommend is that we try and find funding for the holding facility, freezer facility, so that when people capture them in different places, whether they're alive or dead, this issue could be addressed. They can take it, if it's alive, to a holding facility, and if it's dead, to a freezer or some area where it's convenient any time of the day. Because people capture them different times of the day. So holding facility. The other solution is we need to try and find ways where we can sell these pigs and process it so that it is good for human consumption, also good for feeds, cats, dogs, or whatever it is, fertilizers. So that is a win-win situation, you know, we can make some money from it. The other solution is to offer some incentive for people to capture these pigs. So I'd like to recommend that some kind of compensation to every pig that is captured, to whoever's capturing them. And that way incentivize them to be more proactive in capturing them. And the other recommendation I would like to make, I heard somebody say, this main thing is to capture them. But I'd like to make a recommendation that the mission should be eradication of wild pig. And hopefully that will happen very soon. So I think that's the main thing that I want to say at this time, and I just want to commend all of you for doing whatever you're doing, or being that you're, especially the key partners. I see new partners now with the coastal management, you know, and it's very nice to see you on board among other things. But the other key partners that we have had in the past were the forestry, always been our key partners. And we always get together, you know, before we go to our National Association of Conservation Districts meetings in the US. And yes, we solicit recommendations from the farmers and other agencies. And what can we bring to the National Association of Conservation Districts to resolutions? So it is very good if all the key partners and all the producers in Guam visit or make a point to submit whatever recommendation that you would like to be introduced or considered by the board to be taken to the National Association of Conservation Districts. It's a very unique organization, the National Association of Conservation Districts. Because when we get to Washington, D.C., and once that resolution is passed by the National Association members, we have executive officers and other personnel to make sure that those resolutions get to the appropriate agencies in Washington, D.C. whether it is through the Department of Agriculture or any agencies that need to be addressed. Then the other thing is, we get the opportunity to meet with the senators, Congress, and the key people of the federal government. So just imagine how effective this organization, coming from like Imalahan, like Mike and other members, then you're able to get into the whole of Congress and meet one-on-one with the key senators that you want to meet to address your issue. I'll never forget when I piggybacked with my friends from Hawaii and we met in the morning to see Senator Illinois then. One of the key issues I had then for the farmers, and always still is agreed, is the water issues. So, through Isha, we were able to get a lot of good things. So, I really encourage everybody to continue doing what you're doing, because I believe that you people are doing an excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Borja from the Department of Culture. I'm the Division Chief for the Agricultural Development Services Division that directly interacts with the farm community. So my staff and myself have been diligently trying to work together as a team to address all the issues of farms and needs of farmers. We have micro grants, we have other programs that are available. We also have systems to directly involve ourselves as the farming community to show them the best methods and technology that can be provided, as well as trying to revamp our nursery program to be able to give to the farmers and to growers, even for the families that want to grow their own food, a little sense of sustainability. Subsistence farming is one thing we're pushing forward, and food security. As you know, we all know this, that we're so isolated from everything else, but we need to grow our stuff. So when I hear about the pig problem all the time, I always interact with the Southern Soil as well as other farmers to communicate with them how to best control the pigs. We just need a lot more pork lovers. We need more pork. I mean, cure this big problem. Because we can catch all the pigs we want, but there's a lot of food that is going where wasted. We need to encourage a processing center or even a slaughterhouse with both the pigs that we can grow here and also market them. A lot of resources, natural resources, but we can exploit them because we don't have means, we don't have programs. But going forward, farm culture is looking at other means to make it happen. Investigating as well as learning from others have done it in the States, as we heard earlier, expert from feral pigs. But we also can interact with the locals. The best thing I want to know and tell you this is that I myself interact with farmers after hours with my own resources to make sure that the mission, the goal, the objective is met. But we can't do it alone. We gotta do it with our fellow partners as well as the community. And that's why we have on-site farmer certification and registration. So we know who you are, what you do, and how we can help you. But again, the underlying thing is food security. We want to make sure that everything that's produced on the farm is safe. So behind the scenes, I'm working with the FDA as well as the other federal counterparts to ensure that we test our vegetables, not what's imported yet, but what is going to the markets here is safe for the community. So again, there with us, we're struggling as we are, like a nursery, we're trying to clean out the our ants with that should happen again. Be patient, the virtue. But again, please introduce pork back into your menu so we can use the pork and not just throw away. Thank you for your time and any questions later? I don't want to take up too much time for lunch.
My name is John Ryan. I'm from the governor's office. Lieutenant Governor asked me to come down and just take some notes this morning. And I love pork. So I'm just here observing, taking some notes, and we'll be reporting back to Joshua. And encourage anyone who's present here today to reach out to our office at any time. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Francesca Pangolinan. I'm a staff assistant at the Guam State Caring House, and I'm here to accompany John Ryan on behalf of the Lieutenant Governor.
I stand. My trip over Joe's bag, get out. Hey everybody, my name is Christine Camacho Farron, I'm Forestry Soil Resources Division Chief for your Guam Department of Agriculture. And I'm so proud of the team, your intros were awesome. So I made a little list. Let's see, what have we done? And we've done a lot for you. And it was great to hear. I don't think many people understood or knew the FEMA Malik subgrant program, which was spearheaded by our Smart Tree Specific partner, who is facilitating all of our urban and community forestry work for Guam. That's how we got creative. How did we bridge gaps in capacity? We work with partners that have the ability to do so. And so Denise and Shaylin, who work in our office, look just like us. They go out and talk to you, and they create these amazing projects. Asia is one of our she's our newest. You guys heard that? Fire program manager. I'm not supporting that title anymore. As Asia. You know, and Rudy's forever working for trying to connect stewardship opportunities with our community. So him being here today and Maddie was I wrote all your names down. Like, who am I gonna stop? So let's move. Other successes from your program. We completed, I'm gonna start with this one, the forest inventory analysis, 2024 forest inventory analysis for Guam. This is a 10-year survey. It's an assessment done across the island and across other islands and jurisdictions. US Forest comes out and they provide the training, and this team is subjugated to the harshest conditions and hiking conditions and temperatures as they hike all across the island. So this is a thank you to all of you partners who helped us connect with landowners to gain permission, because the surveys are done across federal, Guam lands and private lands. And so from that, I just submitted our state fact sheets for Guam to the Forest Service panel or a portal. So let me cover this. For the forest inventory and analysis, 62 inventory plots were completed under the Forest Service plots. 116 for the Micronesia Challenge. What this means is that a grid was spread out across the island. You know, this is grid out of magic and nowhere. And whether it was in the water or not, it was designated. So of the entire grid across the island, the team was able to complete 62 visits. Wait, did I do that wrong again? Yeah, 62 visits across the island, but we added, because what ended up happening was a lot of our sites were ending up on federal lands. I mean, I care, but can I do something there? Our teams, our community, our local community have access to the local lands and private lands, right, with permission. So we expanded upon those plots and increased. I mean, it was an insane ask, and they did it. We had partners from the Republic of Marshall Islands, and from Pohnpei, who came out from their forestry offices to help with this effort. So across the nation, Forest Service personnel, your forestry team, Eco Services was brought in, Micronesia Conservation Trust helped fund some of the work to be done. We're talking really huge endeavor, and of course, our military partners who gave us access for the plots to be able to do the expanded work. This is 10 years, every 10 years it's done. This is consistent forestry. This is science, this is data that you can pull on, and managers across the nation look at these plans. So this should be released sometime mid next year. It takes a while to analyze all that data, but once we have it, we're good. Okay, I'm gonna jump because I spent a lot of time on that. What's next? We did hires, and thank you, Asia, for mentioning the hires. Our America the Beautiful Challenge grant, we were able to pick up 3 personnel, 2 most recently, brand new people to the team, and we were able to promote 1. So to take opportunities in our agencies and provide a ladder for your current staff and give them the forestry aid 1. He had a college degree, he had everything he needed, and he was sticking with us as a forestry aid 1, and came in and interviewed and qualified, and is now forester 1. These are the successes we look for, not just the type of work we bring to you in the programs that produce solid stuff for our farmers and landowners, but also looking at our agencies and how can we retain people, because we're losing people every day across agencies. How do we retain the support we need to do the work? And it's creating opportunities in-house. So we were able to do that. That's a success. Asia moved into local funding.
Yay! That's almost impossible to happen. The forest system plan. You guys surprisingly got that like not first. The forest system plan, huge push. We're originating from the Forest Legacy Act of 2012. We have finally seen the passing of the forest system plan, and we're now in the 90-day window for the promulgation of rules and regs. So you will see us again, you will see the emails and the invitations to come and talk about this. This gives the your Department of Agriculture, some administrative authority and support to be able to protect lands for conservation, to protect for agriculture, for soils. I mean, all of this, there's a much bigger benefit, right? And it touches on those urban spaces, those green spaces in our community, all the way to the most rural reaches of the island. So this is something to celebrate. So thank you to the Bureau of Statistics and Plans and Guam Coastal Management Program team, because without their heavy lift, Christian Benitez, who isn't here, all behind the scenes players that helped make that happen. So thank you to you guys. Yes, clap for them. Talk about the ballot, the competitions. This is the first year we've offered the national competitions for wildland urban interface grants and your landscape scale restoration grants. So WUI and LSR. We were able to, we've offered them a couple times each year. It comes down to the national competition. I announce it to partners. And for a long time there, it was just forestry, and then UOG jumped on. And this year, we had the Bureau, we had the district, we had the Guam Fire Department and UOG. So we had 2 WUI submissions and 2 LSR submissions. So best of luck, everybody. But I will add this. If you're not competing for the LSR grants, the landscape scale restoration grants, we're missing out. $100,000 set aside pot with the state foresters, the foresters across the islands fought for, and we won that for the LSR. So there's a national competition, but there's automatically 300,000 set aside for the islands. And every year we didn't compete, that's a potential that that money will one day not be offered because we're not taking advantage of it. We'll be just in the general pot with the rest of the nation. And the problem here, the strength in you guys existing, is that you take a local voice and local perspective and you introduce it and reintroduce it to these national partners who forget we exist. So be present and show up, right? Let's see. Okay, product delivery, I'm just gonna end with this one. There's a lot more. Product delivery, we brought some of the stuff that we produced for the fire program, some posters, very place-based bags. We are all about place-based bags. You can bring your national averages, that's fine, but I put that to the reserve when I have nothing else to share. But we work on producing posters, brochures, infographics, that will help serve you and your customers and our community with place-based facts and information. So this service never disappeared. We've always offered at your Forestry and Soil Resources Division, we've always offered the agriculture burn permit and opportunity, the service. What you're seeing today is fires being intentionally set, accidental escapes, so backyard fires, someone out there intentionally setting fires. But we also do know that there's agricultural burning happening without permit. This service provides an opportunity to do that under the guidelines that keep you safe and keep fire off of your neighboring properties. So reach out, it's free. It's your forestry team coming out to work with you, and I'm saying it to you, but please go say it to everybody else. We never took this off of you. So please share this information. Okay, and I will wrap with that. Yeah, I'll take it back.
He just called my, I don't know how I'm supposed to call that. Good day, everyone. My name is Aileen Uriarty. I work for the USDA Farm. questions, I kind of wanted to make an announcement. Back in December last month, December 11th, our agency, kind of came out with a new program. It's called the Marketing Assistance for Specialty Crops. It was a really short application period. The deadline was January 8th. And then we just received word that we are extending the program. We are, able to receive late applications. And that will be February, we have 2 deadlines, February 11th. Should producers decide to apply, by February 11th, we have what Mr. Benson Nicholas failed to mention. We have a board of farmers, we call them county committee members. They will take a look at the applications and then either approve, deny, or require, additional information. So our 3 farmers that kind of govern the programs that we put out, Mr. Benson Nicholas, who represents the farmers in the south. We have Michelle Crisostomo, who represents the farmers in the central, and she is our current chairwoman. And then we have Teddy Conception, who represents farmers in the north. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to them, or you can reach out to me. The second set of deadlines is March 11th. So for producers who don't meet the first deadline, their applications will go up to Hawaii, to the state committee there, and then they would approve, deny, or require additional information. For what we do well, we do a couple of things well. I hope we offer disaster programs. Last year, with the help of my committee, we offered a new program that has been offered nationwide for many years, but not on Guam or the Northern Mariana Islands. It's called a livestock forage program. So it's a drought program for any livestock holders, not just cattle, deer, carabao, goats, sheep. So for producers who kind of were affected by the drought that we had last year, can still apply. The deadline is March 15th. We already, I think we put out about $25,000, which doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it is a lot of money given the fact that we have small acreages. The other thing that we do really well is kind of listen to concerns from our board members, concerns from the farmers, and our bread and butter at Farm Service Agency is, we call it non-insured crop disaster assistance program. People call it NAP, other people call it crop insurance. And one of the things that we were able to change rules and regs at a state level is peppers. So we had a concern with one of our farmers, I'm gonna run through the rules real quickly. If you enroll in our crop insurance program and you plant peppers in 2024, and you still grow peppers can grow for a few years, depending on how you maintain it. So we come in 2025, we have a disaster, and the farmer wants to make a claim. Unfortunately, because the peppers were planted in 2024, it's considered a 2024 crop year, and they will not be able to get any monetary assistance because it is not the fact. So that was one of the biggest issues. So we were able, with the help of Jones Carroll and Glenn Takai, we were able to gather a lot of documentation, send it up to the state office in Hawaii, and they officially approved making peppers a perennial crop. So we're treating it like papaya. So those are some of the changes that we do really well. Some of the challenges that we have, because we cater to commercial farmers and all of our programs require records, whether you want to get a farm loan or participate in any of our disaster programs, is record keeping. Not, I want to say every farmer or even every person required to actually take all the records. Well, that's one of the things that we really need, one of the things that are required to participate in any of our farm programs. So, one of the things that I do ask for partnering with Farm to Table, February 5th, we have a record keeping workshop at 5:30 p.m. at the Leon Guerrero building. So you can invite your farmers in. I think Farm to Table is gonna put out something on their Instagram account, but one of the things that the districts can help us is we can partner with them. We can do, now that you guys have members, we can provide workshops to your members in regards to record keeping, or we can contact producers individually, because again, the key to participate in any of our programs is recipes. If they don't have the records, they're unable to produce. And then the second one is actually reaching producers. Like we can only do so much. We only have a broad range of like, the only ones we really can reach out to are producers currently participating in our program. So we kind of partner with nonprofits, the districts, our counterparts, the Department of Ag, help us push out the information, and we're trying to reach new producers. They can be very old producers who haven't heard about us, we like to reach them, or upcoming producers, right? Kind of get them into the program and talk about what they need and how they can participate. And that's it.
Yes, I'm Ursula Ferrero, Program Coordinator at Department of Ag Development Services. So to just touch on what Chief had explained and shared. So mainly I run the micro grants for food security program, so the SGSWCD. And excited to announce that we have a 5th round coming up that we'll be announcing in the next month. Total date, we've been awarded $760,000 for our farmers.
Okay.
And just wanted to remind everybody that we have the agricultural master plan, phase 1 uploaded uploaded on our website to check out. Anyways, thank you for having me.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Acosta, I'm an extension agent at the University of Guam Cooperative Extension and Outreach. So I'm gonna start with some of the challenges first, and basically with a lot of our different agencies, we have limited staff and limited capacity. So one way that we tackle many of our objectives is working with all our partners together. So one of the highlights that we've done for the districts in recent time has been doing our new farmer training series, which we do annually, which we partner up with both districts, both the northern and southern districts, together with Department of Agriculture, EDS, USDA, FSA. So we do this annually where we conduct about 6 to 8 Saturdays of workshop trainings. Topics include conservation practices, farm planning, propagation, and all the different types of agriculture that we're promoting on the island, especially agroforestry. So in these programs, what was successful is that all our partners came out. They assisted us in the lectures, and then we not only do lectures, but we also do a hands-on component to each of our lectures. So we're talking about fruit tree propagation. We go out and we propagate fruit trees. We teach people how to not only from seeds, but also grafting and cuttings, layering, and those things. And then we also really want to highlight all the government and the federal programs that we have on island to promote USDA, to promote FSA, to promote NRCS, and very similar to the district's objective is how to get more people into our programs here in Guam. So that's one of the programs that was successful. Other programs was the soil health initiative. Unfortunately, our soil scientist, Dr. Galabi, has retired. So he's not doing any of the recommendations. The lab is still doing the analysis, but Cooperative Extension has formed a team where we can give some general soil recommendations to the new people that are coming in the registry. Other things that I've been doing is the farm to school efforts, where working with GBOE and the Food and Nutrition Services, trying to get a school garden in every school on the island. And then also working with our forage program and our nutrition program. So every year we bring all the Head Start students to the university. And what we're doing is we're trying to engage them more in agriculture, and some of the stuff that we do at the university with the forage program, our nutrition. So we just did one last week where I took the students with me, taught them about agriculture, showed them our demo garden. They did a hands-on by planting some vegetables for us in the block. They took home sweet potatoes, hot peppers, eggplants, and lemongrass with them to plant in their own homes.
And this is one of the ways where we're trying to engage students back into agriculture. All right, thank you, everyone.
Joe, would you like to, say something? I'm pretty sure you are, so.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Joe Santos. I'm the chair for the Northern Guam Soil Water Conservation District. Most of the planning staff of the Department of Tomorrow Affairs. By the way, this tomorrow is happening in March, beginning March 1st. I just want to make you guys aware. This tomorrow, there's a lot of activities occurring. Just to go on in terms of the, by the way, I also approached GW for paddling, and that's coming up in early February. So I'm so busy doing a lot of other things other than this. Thank you everyone for coming and being a partner to the districts. We really appreciate it. One of the roles that the district wants to do, of course, is soil and water conservation, but we want our roles to facilitate and help the agencies and NGOs of push for soil and water conservation. For the north, our effort is of course on the aquifer, the land that we have, because it's different from the south. The south is more mountainous, hilly, versus the north, which is more flat. Our issues with land restoration, making sure that we restore the land. We have a lot of issues that's occurring because of population intrusion into especially areas that are meant for conservation or natural preserve areas. And we want to make sure that that's maintained in there. So we're working to do land restoration projects, and we're working with a lot of NGOs and some government agencies to do that. We met with the director of the Department of Agriculture, asking her what does she need that we can help you guys out with in terms of maybe staffing and maybe other projects that we can partner with to get involved with it. One of the things that the Department of Tomorrow Affairs is doing is working with the Rural Development Agency of USDA. They're offering grants to build farmers markets within villages. And so we just have to identify some of the villages that need a farmers market. And so I'm hoping that the southern, along with the northern, we do a memorandum agreement with the Department of Tomorrow Affairs so that we can apply for the grants. It's 100% grant, by the way, funding for construction. We just need to identify the land in the respective areas of the villages to build the farmers market and help farming or agriculture succeed on Guam, because we want to eat healthy as opposed to some of the poisonous food coming into Guam that is not good for our own people. The district is going to hire 3 employees, an administrative assistant, a conservation associate, and an outreach specialist. So we should be hiring that in the next month. And what we want to do is, again, we want to go on and help the agencies in their respective areas. In terms of the invasive species, we are going in and trying to help not only to the Invasive Species Council, but the biosecurity side of the house, and see what we can do with helping do the plan, but also help in the removal of a lot of invasives. A lot of invasives are coming in through soil. We actually have the power to stop any soil from coming into Guam and helping with our green, zero waste programs on Guam. We have the opportunity to get our own soil and produce it and make it for our people versus importing it in and going to Home Depot or other hardware store to buy it, which brings in the invasives. What are you bringing? You're bringing a biological item into the island, which also normally brings in grubs and other types of invasives into the island. So we need to stop that. We do have the power to do that because our customs and quarantine is totally separate from the United States. We're not tied to them. We're separate from them. This is why when you go to Hawaii, guess what? They're not, you have to go and take your luggage and for them to check to make sure that you're not bringing any invasives into the United States. And the reason why is because we're not under the United States, what do you call the customs and quarantine, jurisdiction, we're separate. This is one of the reasons why our, customs and quarantine and also our biosecurity division, they have to get security clearances to go into the base because you can't turn around and, the military can't turn around and invoke national security. I'm sorry, but, national security is tied to making us secure in our also area. So this is one of the reasons why the customs and quarantine and biosecurity, our biosecurity personnel also get their security clearances and can work within the military arena. We're applying for a lot of federal grants, and the federal grants are to assist the agencies. Again, our role is to facilitate, not to regulate, and not to take a program and manage the program. We're there to help you with your program. We want to make sure that your a success in your program, because if you succeed, guess what? You succeed. And we want to make sure we're there for you. So there's a Department of Interior Energy grant that we're applying for. It's for farmers for green energy, solar panels and wind turbines for them to put on their farms so they have power on there. And so we're applying for that. We're also applying for the Climate Smart grant. And there's another NRCS grant that we're applying for, and it gives tie-ins to working agricultural lands. We received a $790,000 land restoration and fencing grant. And so we're applying that this year, and hopefully we can get done with it, because one of the things we want to do is we want to continue that on and hopefully the South can also apply for that and help in terms of getting the farmers in terms of fencing their areas so from invasive. Other than that, we're here. We're trying to also get our, we have an election coming up, by the way, in August for all the district directors. We're all voted in by, you have to be a bona fide farmer or a land occupier, which is you have to own land on Guam, or you have to lease land on Guam, or you have to be a bona fide farmer. And those are the only ones that can vote. We don't vote. We're not like everybody has an equal say on it. It supports that particular group. So we have it on August. The University of Guam is handling the election. Hopefully we're good to go. What we have planned in the future is we have the agriculture symposium, which is coming up on October 8th to the 10th. And then we also have the educator symposium, which is July 23rd, 24th, and 25th. We reserved the museum to use that space for both events. We are looking at also the hotels to do it, but the question is, can we do some show some exhibition for farming in there in terms of agriculture? Because again, we're doing agriculture symposium or agricultural activities. Again, I want to thank you again for coming over here. There's a massive strategic plan that's being done, and hopefully we can succeed in doing the best that we can. And your mayor of Inaron came in.
Okay, just for the record, I wanted to acknowledge our board member, Yvonne Manglonian Juaneza. She showed up actually earlier today, earlier in the hour. And then also I believe it's our last speaker for the day. Sorry, Mayor Anthony Chargula from Inarohan, one of our staunchest supporters for the Southern Guam. Always willing to help. He gets his community to provide food and all the support for us when we host our outreach meetings and everything. So we really appreciate his partnership, and so he'll get the last word for this meeting. Thank you.
Introduce myself?
Yes, yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Tony Chaga. I'm from Inaron. I'm familiar there. And since I've taken over, we've built a great relationship with the Solo Water Conservation Group, especially with Mike and the team. And I'm a very big supporter of that, because Inaron actually is there's a bunch of farmers out there. The irony though is that they seem to be a lot older group, and we're trying to kind of reinvigorate and try to entice the younger generation to be a part of that. As a matter of fact, just before I came here, I was talking with the Talapopo mayor, who was
well-known Anahuac to be a very big watermelon producer. I asked him if he's still doing that, and he told me he's not anymore. So I did kind of mention to him that, you know, if you can spark and try to entice the younger generation to be a part of the farming community. Because why is it that we have to import food from outside? And I want to say this because I repeated this already before. COVID-19 brought a lot of attention to me in particular, because at that point, while we were all fearing for our well-being, my concern was, where's our next food coming from if we're going to be relying from off-island shipment coming in? And the thing about it is, at one point in time, we had an abundance of farmers from Jigo all the way down to Umata. Today, we don't, and I know it's labor intensive, and that's probably why a lot of the younger generation don't want to get engaged in that. But you know what? They don't realize is there's a lot of money to be made. As a matter of fact, I constantly repeated that the most important occupation in the entire world is farming. It's because of them that we are alive. Imagine if there was no farmers today, who's gonna do the work of planting and putting those crops, or even the cattle? Who's gonna maintain all of that if not for them? So I have a very deep and profound respect for the farming community. And I, you know, with that said, I also noticed one of my constituents, Uncle Benny St. Nicholas, who, you know, used to do farming at a greater scale. I think he's downscaled it now to just bananas. But nonetheless, he was also in the aquaculture part of the community, raising shrimp, tilapia, and I believe bombs, right? So again, you know, but this is, I believe is the last one in the lawn that ever did aquaculture. So, you know, I'm hoping that he lives for another 90 years, so he's able to pass on everything that he's known to the younger generation, and hopefully spark and entice them to be a part of the farming / food providers for Guam. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for that. That was a very nice, inspiring words about farming, and especially down south. We're from Mineral, and we know what we suffered a lot growing up farming. So yeah, it is hard work. So anyways, that concludes the partner presentations. We were gonna do a open forum question and answer, but I think we're through that. We're gonna be here for the rest of the afternoon. There'll be a lot of discussion going on, so I think you can all bring your questions up within those timeframes. So I'll just call for a motion to adjourn this. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I just wanted to share very quickly that we did have the NACD National Poster Contest last year, and it's the first time that Guam we participated in it. The representative from the island of Guam is a 4th grader. Her name is Christine Caballera from Machanana Elementary School. So her entry has been submitted to compete against all the other districts nationwide. They'll be announcing that winner at the National Convention in Utah in about 2 more weeks. This year's poster contest theme is Homes Where the Habitat Is. And once again, we look forward to continue to participate in that contest. I also want to remind everybody that the headshots will be taking place during our lunch. So, you know, if you're done eating, you just call our photographer person, what's it? Sean, and he can be coming around and do quick headshots of you. Yeah, and they're going to be doing it in that room. Okay, excellent. So whenever you're ready, and then also we do want to do a group picture. I know we're hungry, but we want to do it first. And then come back in, and then we can eat, and we want to do it outside because the weather is so nice, and we love the background with the ocean. So as soon as we adjourn the meeting, we kindly ask that everyone step out through the double doors. We're going to take one really big, quick group shot, and then when we come back in, we'll bless the food, and we can get to our luncheon. And I think, is there like another test question? That's it. Yeah.
So with that said, I want to call for a motion to adjourn the partner meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the bi-monthly partner meeting on January 30th, 2025.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
So with that, without objection, so moved. Thank you. Like I said, Martha said, we'll go out there real quickly and take a group photo.
Yes.
Thank you for all the discussions and the presentations and I look forward to
My guy, that's a flyer a contractor. Oh my God. Like an emergency situation. Yeah, no, should I, let's see.
Are you sure?
No, it's trying. It's
¿Allá resolvió? ¿No está ahí? ¿No cuenta? No, no, no. Estoy aquí I leave the space over.
Maybe that was yeah, I know.
Come on inside and I'm gonna quickly bless the food. And then I believe the food, right, is everything ready? Staff? Okay, so. Okay. Yes. Unless she would like. Please go ahead and bow your heads as we bless the food. Heavenly Father, as we gather to share this meal, we give thanks for the opportunity to connect with each other today and for the commitment to continue working together. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the nourishment before us. May this lunch refresh our bodies and minds, and may our discussions be fruitful as we move forward. And so we pray, bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. The table is open. Please, everyone, help yourself. And don't forget, headshots are in the side room if you want to jump to that first while the line is long, or vice versa.
There, you got it.
I'm gonna pick out something that I'll. That is a good.
Are we shutting in?
I don't think so. How's it going? Good. Cool. John, make sure you tell your guide so he can eat and drink.
By the way, I was here, Oh, yeah, okay. But I actually. My wife's the one who to be better at. Oh, yeah.